NJ to the city. God bless all the kids. God bless all my middle schoolers. God bless everybody. God bless all my younglings. Just had to spit some flow for you. Now, here's what I really want to make a video about. As I'm on Twitter, NJ to the city, look me up on Twitter. As I'm on Twitter right now, looking Gardner Minshew, looking up anything new about what people are saying about Gardner Minshew not playing right now. I mean it when I think I've said it before on Twitter. If not, I said it definitely on Snap, NJ to the city. Uh, People got to understand it. This is why I don't like the Jaguars, and either Dumarone is out of there or I'm boycotting the Jaguars next season. Because leave it to the Jaguars to literally have a young stud in Gardner Minshew who won 6 games for you. 6. 3 times 2 equals 6, etc. You know, leave it to the Jaguars to have a young Gardner Minshew in his prove-it year, give him no defense, shaky offensive line, and, in the end, expect him to. And I want people to understand Justin Fields, Kyle Trask, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones. You can name the quarterback that's in the quarterbacks that are in this year's draft, fam. Nobody could overcome what, the Jaguars gave him, let alone give you with this slop of a lineup. You literally, like they keep saying, the Jaguars traded away all the playmakers, all the established vets, traded everybody away. If not, just cut Leonard Fournette as well. And I mean it when I tell you, not only does Caldwell did he deserve to be out of there. I don't know why they kept Doug Marrone, but they did thus far. This is what I mean when I tell you that the evidence just couldn't be more there. It's not because of this draft pick, that draft pick being a bust, more so, in my opinion, for the reason why Caldwell had to be out of there. You dismantled not only the Saxonville defense, but you dismantled, a roster full of veteran established playmakers, let alone guys like Leonard Fournette that, wanted to be there and was okay with, just like Gardner Minshew, that being his prove-it year. He was okay with that. But instead of you embracing that and you putting the tough wheels to the iron and you plunging forward, because I promise you, I don't know what Chris Robinson has done this year, but he's no Leonard Fournette, and people need to stop confusing him to be a Leonard Fournette. In terms of, Leonard Fournette is a workhorse power back like Derrick Henry. Guys just bounce off him for the most part, and he's definitely not afraid to run you over. And so on, like a freight train. My brother Abdul, etc. People got to understand that, and I mean in a powerful way. Of if you don't know who Abdul is, he played for Valley Ridge Academy, 8th grade basketball team. The dude was a man amongst boys on that court. I promise to God, it just went like lights out when he was on that court. He was a man amongst the boys, going around everybody. I think he dunked a couple times. And if he didn't dunk, he was just a man amongst the boys doing his thing, owning it. And I promise you, he's my chosen leader for the face of the franchise when he's basketball moving forward. Abdul, put the rock in Abdul's hands and let Abdul win you games, let alone let him take you deep into the postseason. Abdul, if you ever watch this video, brother, that's my faith in you. That's my belief in you. Why? Because I saw you do it first and foremost. Shout out, God bless our alma mater, Valley Ridge Academy. It's tricky I say our because I didn't go there, but I'm still a Valley Ridge kid for life because how much I support them, etc. Because many of my friends, have little brothers and little sisters that go there, so I'm just supporting everybody through that, etc. But indeed, I watched him do it at Valley Ridge. He owned it. He is the face of Nice boys basketball for the next 4 years. And God bless my brother Leighton Toby. He's also on Nice JV with Abdul. And by God's grace, that, again, you have a window. I'm not saying you'll win multiple states, but you'll definitely, make it close, if not exactly there. If you put Abdul in and you let him be the leader of your program for the next, in this case, 3 years since he's on JV this year, etc. But back to the original reason why I made this video. Okay, there's a reason. I'm telling you, there's a reason why I'm boycotting the Jaguars next season if they don't fire Doug Marrone. Leave it to literally, the Jaguars have got to be one of the top 5, if not top 10 most incompetent franchises in NFL history. If you look at my other video I made a few weeks ago, if not a month ago, I'll tell you, the Khan family is not the problem. The Khan family is beautiful. They have been phenomenal for not only the city, but for the team itself. They're great business people. The Khan family reigns on. They go supreme, etc. They're not the problem. So the problem is not the ownership. The problem is the front office. The problem is we had Caldwell there for, I think, an extra 2-3 years, longer than what we should have had him there for. And then I thought Doug Marrone was the right coach after they fired Gus Bradley, but it definitely, shows that he's not. Not Gus Bradley, what's his name? Doug Marrone is showing similar to a few other coaches, and not a lot of the coaches. It does not matter. We're not going to win because in terms of, like, I literally looked on Twitter again a couple weeks ago, and I literally saw it from my own eyes with Doug Marrone at the press conference saying, "It hurts my soul that we lose." No, it doesn't. If it hurt your soul so bad, then why did you get rid of your Saxonville defense? Why did you get rid of Leonard Fournette? Why did you get rid of all your playmakers and replace them with a bunch of young, controllable talent? And when I say young and controllable, that means guys that were just trying to make it in the league versus guys that was already established and could truly help you win at least 6 more games this upcoming season. You should never have gotten rid of Leonard Fournette. Don't even give me that, about he didn't want to be here. No, Leonard Fournette did want to be there. Or at least Leonard Fournette absolutely would have made it work if you had let him make it work. Don't even give me that stuff about Leonard Fournette when didn't want to be here. Now, Yannick Ngakoue, he definitely didn't want to be there. He made that abundantly clear time after time after time. This is not the same team as it was when we went to the AFC Championship. I don't want to be here. Get me out of here. And you saw the Maryland Terp is out and back, actually now with Calais Campbell, actually, with Baltimore. So you kind of get the point I'm trying to make there, right? In terms of, you got rid of proven talent for young, controllable talent. That means guys that are just trying to make the win in the league, get their feet wet, and try something new, etc. Versus established talent that knows what it takes to win and has that discipline to fire up the squad and lead everybody to victories, etc. I mean, what literally was supposed to be Gardner Minshew's breakout year, if not, you could say Gardner Minshew's follow-up to his breakout year, what was supposed to be that turns out to be the biggest dud, I would say in either franchise history, let alone probably NFL history. But I'm going to just say franchise history. Leave it to the Jaguars to have a quarterback like Gardner Minshew and literally deplete his talent around him and expect him to be great. Because people got to understand this. Even Russell Wilson, if he didn't have the weapons around him, even he would have limitations. Same thing with Aaron Rodgers and whoever else I can name on this list. Even if they, Drew Brees, even some of the greats, if not all of the greats, if they didn't have some of the chosen weapons around them, they couldn't go as far as they would with them. Like, they might make the playoffs, but how far are you going to go in the playoffs? That's really the key difference. I think that Aaron Rodgers, definitely proved it last year what he could do. Without many weapons, he made it to the NFC Championship, but he couldn't get over that hump to get to the Super Bowl. Because of lack of those weapons, etc. That's kind of what it is. Really, any Hall of Famer can probably, understand, agree, or just any Hall of Famer in general, it kind of makes sense, right? You have to build around these guys. These guys can go far without you, but they can finish and win with you, or finish and win more with you. That's the point. Without all those weapons, you might go to the playoffs, but how far will you go? Versus with those weapons, you'll be able to finish, and hold up that Lombardi. Get the point? And I mean it when I say leave it to my incompetent Jags to have a young stud in Gardner Minshew and waste his time / waste his talent, which is the exact same thing they did with Josh Dobbs when they traded for him. You don't remember who Josh Dobbs is, the black quarterback that we traded for after Nick Foles went down to be Gardner Minshew's backup. God bless his soul. And Josh Dobbs, vice versa, said, he wants to lead his own team one day. I do believe Josh Dobbs has everything that he needs to do that, and I guess he'll have to do it in at least now he's back in Pittsburgh, so we'll see whenever Ben Roethlisberger, hangs up the cleats. But right now he's not gonna because he's on the MVP run and so on and so on. But you kind of get some of the point of what I'm trying to make there. Leave it to the Jaguars to literally have young talent. I don't know why in God's holy name you trade for Josh Dobbs just to cut him. This, why? I do not get it. I do not, on God's grounds, get it. You had the kid under contract for at least the next year or two. Why in God's holy name would you trade for him just to cut him? And that's what I mean when I say y'all don't get it, or people just don't get it. The Jaguars are one of these many incompetent franchises that will never get things right because the front office is whack. The GM was whack. The head coach is whack. You get the point. People are whack. Tom Coughlin, I would also say, is, sketchy, but at the same time, he did what he did, and we at least got to the AFC Championship. So God bless that part of what he did. Coming back is our vice president of football operations. But y'all kind of get the point I'm trying to make there, right? Of leave it to teams like the Jaguars to have young, emerging talent and do nothing with it, let alone a young, emerging quarterback and do nothing with him. Because everybody knew who was in this draft. Quote me when I tell you this. Everybody knew who was in this draft. And Gardner probably was like, yeah, I accept the challenge, to hopefully to show this is my franchise and we don't need another quarterback here, Like I say, if Gardner won you 6 games last season, imagine what he could have won you this season. I'm not saying he would have won you a playoff game, but at least making it to the wild card would have been good enough. Let alone at least making it to, close enough to the wild card where you were just 1 game away. That was good, and that would have been good enough for, I think, every Jaguar fan out there. Every Jaguar fan. To get us not only out of the way to not being, selecting top 10, but as well to once again show that, once again, not only can I play, but, let's just keep on building on what we got here. Because the AFC is stacked. The AFC is stacked. You got to go through Patrick Mahomes. You got to go through Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, Josh Allen. Those 4, probably a few more that I'm missing out, but those are the top 4 that come to mind. You got to go through those guys if you want to do anything messy in the postseason or go dangerous in the postseason, or be dangerous in the postseason. You have to. So that's a big part of what I'm trying to alleviate there is that leave it to the Jaguars to have that golden opportunity to do something different and special and phenomenal, but instead use to waste people's time and talent because they don't know how to utilize it, let alone how to coach it, let alone they just don't know what they're doing with putting the best people on the field to succeed and thrive. I mean, I saw the tank coming, not because they got rid of all the veteran talent, but because I saw they replaced all the veteran talent with a bunch of young, I want to say young journeymen, if not just young guys in general, that would just be trying to make their way, get their feet wet in the NFL. Because you can replace, you can cut all that young talent, trade all that older talent, and just bring in new older talent. It's similar to the video that I made again a few weeks ago. Literally, skimming through that of you could have got guys like Michael Sam, you remember him. You could have got guys like Damian Snacks Harrison, remember him? Earl Thomas, Antonio Brown, Des Bryant, a few other defensive pieces that Clinton Dix, Clay Matthews is still on the free agency market. You get the point. You have so many different people that Jaguars could have went out there and gotten proven veteran quality talent that probably would have asked for nothing more than the bare minimum because you're really giving them a second or third or whatever chance to make it in the league because, ain't nobody out, offering them anything anyway. So kind of got to take what you can get sometimes, etc. Either that or be jobless, do it instead, and that's kind of what it is. That's what I mean about the Jaguars have had ample opportunities, whether it was on offense or defense, to assemble the best cleanest and gotta say most dangerous roster they could, from many different resources out there, but they never bothered to try to accumulate them, and then they wonder why their record is 1-11. I mean, if the Jaguars got even half of that talent, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to tell me the Jaguars got at least half of that talent, that, the Jaguars wouldn't be must-watch TV this season. And that's one of the top things I think a lot of these teams do not know how to do. They don't know how to put must-watch, TV on the screen. And that's one of the top things that I mean when I say, let me man the controls, and I'll put must-watch TV on your screen. Because it's not hard to accumulate this talent, have real conversations with real people about whether their mindset's set, where their work ethic, is, and how they can help the team get better, and use this opportunity, to the best of everybody's God-first will-enabled abilities. You get the point. So again, more coming soon. Your boy, man, NJ to the city, y'all. If I, probably got other ways to explain this, but if but yeah, more coming soon. God bless.